My name is Barbie, and this is the second episode of Not Church. I have a very special guest with me today that's going to open up our service with the Lord's Prayer. Her name is J.C. Sawyer. You bow with us. Our Father.
Kids are there's magic in
Thank you, Jason.
the cities.
All right. They're never too young to begin learning. She has that prayer memorized, as you can see. We're here in Corning, New York, the site of Corning Glass. We came here a couple Saturdays ago and we made ornaments. Here I have Tammy's ornament. It's really cute. What happened was they gave us this square piece of glass, and they gave us all different pieces of glass to glue on top of it in different designs. You see Tammy has a cute little snowman here. Well, we then left our ornaments with them there because they had to put them through the fire, right, to make it look like this. And I want to tell you that so much of the Bible, I want to share a story with you today from the Bible, and so much of the Bible and things we know about Christianity are just kind of on the surface, unless and until we've been in the fire. And it's the fire that puts those things not on the outside of us anymore, but on the inside. So I want to share with you today a story of a guy named Mephibosheth. We go to 2 Samuel, and King David now has the kingdom. Saul was the first king of Israel, had his son Jonathan. Jonathan and David were best friends. Saul kept trying to kill David. Well, Jonathan and David made a promise to each other. David promised Jonathan that when he became king, that he would take care of all of Jonathan's relatives, anybody in his bloodline. So Saul and Jonathan are killed, and in that battle and in that frenzy, the castle, they're running out, the family's all running out, and the nurse is running out with this kid named Mephibosheth. It's Jonathan's son. And they're all afraid they're going to be killed because they're not in power anymore. And in the running out of in the frenzy, the nurse trips and falls, and Mephibosheth is crippled in that fall. And she takes him off to this land called Lodebar. Well, David is king at this point, and he begins to ask, he remembers his promise to Jonathan. And he says, is there anyone out there in the bloodline of Jonathan? Because I made a promise that I would take care of him, whoever it may be. So they get on Ancestry.com, and they check out and they say, hey, there's this guy named Mephibosheth, there's this cat named Mephibosheth, but he's crippled. Now what that meant in Israel in that time was he couldn't even go to church. He couldn't even participate in anything with the temple because he was what the law said was unclean. Now David was a man of battle and war, and Israel had to go to war often under his leadership, so Mephibosheth could do nothing for him. But David remembered a promise. He remembered a promise that he made to Jonathan about a bloodline covenant. And he said, go get him. Go get Mephibosheth and bring him to my table. And so they go to Lodebar and they find Mephibosheth, who's an adult, at this point, and he has to be thinking, me? But he gets brought to the king's table and gets to eat at the king's table for the rest of his life, though he can do nothing for the king. And I want to tell you that that's the miracle of this season. Is that all those people that feel marginalized by religion and different churches, they believe during the Christmas season that they too get to sit down at the king's table. That it doesn't matter if they've been to war for him or not. It doesn't matter what they have done for Jesus, but that they too can just come and sit down. And that is the good news of the gospel. That God made a promise that whosoever shall believe in him will not die but will live forever. And is that what people are seeing at the king's table when they're going into religious organizations? There are very loving church bodies that when a hurt, broken, wounded person walks in the door, they see wonderful things. They see love and joy and peace and patience. Those are the things that are served up at the king's table for his children, regardless of what they can do for the king. Right? Mephibosheth, again, could do nothing. He was there by grace, and he was there because of a bloodline covenant. And we get to come to the Father because of a bloodline covenant made by Jesus Christ. Let us take these stories of the Bible and put them inside of us. Begin to chew on them and hear them differently for ourselves, not how they've been preached to us, not how we've read them in the past. But let's go back to them with an open heart and an open mind, knowing that Jesus has brought us to the table to learn such things just as this. Let us not fight over Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays that destroys the message of Christianity. Let us all just say peace on earth and goodwill toward man. May God bless you all. Amen.